talked. Today we have such an inspirational personality from education fraternity who not only inspire the industry people but also have left a remarkable impact wherever she has worked or have been part of. The managing director and the founder of Kalorex group, the lady herself, Mrs. Manjula Pooja Shroff. Thank you so much for accepting our invitation, Mrs. Shroff, and also special thank to allow us to have this conversation in your own office.
Thank you.
I would like to first of all congratulate you for driving this empire in a way where you are meeting market needs and also adding value to the children's lives and parent lives and in the society. So, Mrs. Shroff, whatever we came to know about you shows that you really believe in creativity and innovation, like you literally live it on a daily basis. How do you maintain your creativity as a leader?
As a leader,
Yeah.
so you know that I studied management in management school. So I'm a student of management and a very, very passionate student of management. So I've studied all the theories of leadership. And over a period of time, I'm not only imbibed some of those theories, I've also homegrown some. Let me tell you that theories can take you so far, but it's in day-to-day dealing with leadership issues and problem solving and creating small cognitive shifts that creativity happens. I'll give you an example. So since I'm the head of the organization, I have authority, right? One would assume that one simple set of instructions will get things done. Let me tell you, that's furthest from the truth. There are different kinds of people. Everybody has the same understanding that the MD or the CEO has given an instruction, it needs to be done. The intention is not different for anyone.
Surely.
But there are people who do it faster, there are people who do it slower, there are people it will appear that it's not being done. If the intention is the same, how come the implementation is different? And that's where challenges come as a leader. For different sets of people, there are different sets of solutions. So there are people that with one set of instructions will understand you and start to act. There are another set of people who need hand-holding to say the talk and then start to run. There will be another set of people who will need repeated instructions and clarifications. And this is what I've learned as a leader. In previous years, I was possibly extremely intolerant about these things.
Okay.
But today, because I'd assume that, hey, this has to get done. But there's no such thing. And you grow tremendously with people, relationships, ability to lead, ability to analyze, and then implement. So creativity is actually small things. And I learned that, I think, from technology, because every time you buy a new Samsung phone, that's because I'm a user of Android, every time you use a new phone, you know that they've made a user experience that's a small shift, but a huge impact.
Yeah. So true.
And that's what I think innovation and leadership is all about.
Mrs. Shroff, you have traveled across the world. And I'm assuming that you must have seen different organization culture also. Have you come across any cultural practice which made you feel thrilled that, oh wow, I would like to implement it?
So that's a great question. In my mind, culture is like the spinal cord of any organization. You know how the saying goes? Culture eats strategy for breakfast.
Yeah, it's popular.
Now, you know why they say that? It's because if there is any binding force in an organization, there has to be culture. Culture works when the organization is sleeping. Culture works when there is no guiding force. Culture works when there's no supervision. Culture works in team spirit. Culture works alone. Culture works in groups. There's one example that I've often cited, and let me see if I can do that very quickly for you. It's an example based in the West where during Christmas, there's this pharmaceutical company, and during Christmas everybody was on vacation, and there's this very young intern manning the helpline, and he gets a call from a remote place saying that there was a lady who was in need of a life-saving drug.
Oh.
And he knows that it's weekend and Christmas and nobody's there, nobody's going to answer a phone call, and he's not able to take permissions. So here's what he does. He hires a chopper, he goes to this remote location, and he delivers the life-saving drug and comes back. Now change the scene, it's post-Christmas, everybody's back in office, and his supervisor receives a bill to pay for a chopper, and he hits the roof. And he says, you're an intern, who gave you such an idea? And this bill is naturally not passed, right? And it makes huge news, and everybody says, when interns come, they're full of fluff and etc. Until it goes to the desk of the CEO. Because nobody else can sanction such a huge bill. And the CEO picks up the call and asks this guy, what will you do? And the response of the guy is, our culture statement is that every life matters. And here there was an old lady, if I did not deliver this life-saving drug, she would have died this business. So I got my empowerment, I got my sanction, I got everything from the culture of this organization. And the CEO sanctioned the bill.
Amazing. I'm really, really speechless.
So that is the power of culture. Now, in theory, a lot of us know it. But to drive culture to the last mile is a huge challenge. But any organization that understands culture is a very, very sustainable organization.
Mrs. Shroff, nowadays it's also safety issues everywhere people talk about. And obviously, who else can know better than you? It's always, but then there is also another thing which is quite visible nowadays. It's children-related issues. Some or other, maybe harassment, and there are so many others. So, do you see any major challenge, about particular issue which needs to get addressed by an education fraternity as a whole?
Yeah. See, safety of children is paramount, right? Because academics can happen, but if the safety is compromised, then a whole human being gets psychologically damaged. And a psychologically damaged human being is actually a menace to society. That is the cost that society pays. So if you see these serial killings that happen in the West, if you see how killings have happened in our schools, if you see how a student will walk in and slap a principal, something has gone wrong in the life of that student psychologically, right? Somebody, a parent, an elder, a relative, a teacher, a psychologist did not produce the problem statement right to the parent and the child, did not address the problem, and did not provide the psychological safety solutions, which is why the child turned out the way they turned out, right? Having said that, mental health is, because we don't understand mental health, we don't see it, right?
I agree.
People take mental health more for granted than they take physical health. So obesity or sugar levels or cellulite, everybody can see it, so they attend to it. But mental sickness or psychological issues, you can't see it, so don't address it. Schools are thankfully doing a lot of things, because it's also mandatory by law that you have to have counselors. Okay. Young children are always taught from very early stage what is a good touch, what is a bad touch. Young children are encouraged to speak up without fearlessly speak up. See, at one time our society was not even able to handle the fact that people will talk, and they would blame the child. So a lot of things have changed, but even as we do that, I think safety issues are not as much center stage as they should be.
Any interesting or a dream project you are working upon and would like to throw some light?
So I move from project to project, right?
I know. And I'm specifically using this line.
I'm a serial entrepreneur. So I'm not sure if I can. Yeah, it's a project for sure because it's not necessarily in brick and mortar because I typically do brick and mortar kind of institutions. Currently, the challenge that I see is a huge dichotomy in the way that the education fraternity is looking at parental and student needs and the way the student and the parent themselves are perceiving the needs. See, a lot of things have really changed in the world. Education is not the way it is 20 years ago, right? It's no longer about knowledge dissemination. It's no longer about chalk and talk. It's not about teachers standing and everybody listening. All of that is gone. Therefore, since knowledge is so freely available, what do students want? What do parents want? So currently my mind is on that question, on finding out how we can best bridge the gap between what is the real need of society in terms of education and how we can change mindsets in educational institutions to meet that need. And if I say more, I'll probably get into a slight area that I don't want to discuss just yet. But as soon as those results or we can get a substantial survey and a critical mass response, be happy to talk about it.
Coming to your personal interest, so I had to watch some of your video actually about fitness and everything. I saw that not only you are promoting over gender, but you literally are promoting within the campus or wherever you are. What fitness mean to you?
So I think that the benefits of God of fitness, and then it will determine why it's become a lifestyle choice for me. I would otherwise lead a very stressful life. I would otherwise take work home. I would otherwise look haggard. I would otherwise be stressed out and burnt out. I would otherwise have to take long breaks. I would otherwise have to have day in and out coaching because I do lead a rather stressful existence in my professional life. It is really fitness that has freed me from everything.
Oh.
I can almost verticalize my life. So if I'm at work, I'm at work. If I'm here talking to you, that's where I am. If I'm home, I'm just home. If I'm out, I'm just out. If I'm on a bike, I'm on a bike. So this living in the moment is something that the discipline of sport and fitness has actually taught me. Besides the fact that you know that when you do exercise, it kicks in a whole bunch of feeling good enzymes. Right?
Yeah.
Everybody knows those terms, but I'm just saying that it's the same thing like eating chocolate. It just doesn't have calories, it actually burns them. So fitness has actually given me a lifestyle that is most enviable, not because it has physically transformed the way I look, but because it's mentally strengthened me. And that's when I've seen it, I actually propagated from childhood to parents, to staff, to everybody. To such an extent that fitness and me have become almost synonymous, and I get this question of fitness almost every time.
Okay, so I'm not the first one. No, but what you spoke about mental health, that I'm sure is a major role, in everyone's life. Yeah, I would like to agree with it. So I came to know finally quite a bit about you. But I would like to know what is in your life still mystery, which you are yet to discover maybe.
Okay, so see, I pride myself about being an educationalist. I genuinely mean that my purpose in life is to add value to lives of students. And for a long time I've been doing that as part of academics. But academics doesn't make human beings. Human beings are multidimensional. Human beings are intellectual, emotional, social, spiritual, financial, physical. So there are many aspects to a human being. One of the mysteries is really, why is any one human being more powerful than another? Why when the same situation presents itself between two human beings, one is better equipped to deal with life situations and one is not? Why is so many children in college doing depression and drugs while others are hale and hearty? Why are some kids dying because they don't get good marks while others can deal with bad marks well? One of the things, or mysteries as you call it, is actually the core matter of a human being, the inner strength. And I think I haven't yet found the mechanisms how to build that inner strength in every student who I come across. Because when I do that, I will then actually transform lives.
Wow. Thank you so much, Mrs. Shroff, for such a vibrant talk. Thank you very much. So I'm sure you people are taking some good knowledge, some inspiration and some good time from this talk. Until we meet next.